Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on May 7th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. All right, so in terms of data that's coming up this evening, we do have a bunch of data in the Asian session. We have trade balance numbers for Australia, and at this point, they are actually supposed to be better than better than the previous time. So if the number matches this, so the actual versus forecast is similar, that would be positive for Australian dollar. But if there's a miss, then we could see a drop in Australian dollar. Now, we also have PMI numbers here for China. These numbers are important not just for China, same here with trade balance numbers here. They will have an impact on Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar as well, because both of those countries are strong trade partners with China, and they export a lot of stuff to China. So we could see an impact on both of those. We also have inflation expectations for New Zealand here. Same thing applies as well. If we see that the number that comes out is below this previous number, and if there's a substantial miss, that could be negative for New Zealand dollar here. So in terms of Thursday here, we do have, so for Thursday here, we have, let's take a look here, sorry, Bank of England monetary policy statement at this point, not expecting a change. However, if we see that Bank of England suggest basically that they are willing to support the market and they're going to provide additional stimulus, that will be considered negative for British pound. We also have a bunch of data out of the Eurozone, so we have to be mindful. Now, we have unemployment claims here, so looking for 3 million new applications for out of the US here, and if that's the case, if actually the number of applications are higher, that would be negative for the US dollar. We also have ECB here, so watch out for that. Now we'll have to be careful with this one, depends on what they have to say. That will make a difference. And then we have RBA monetary policy statement. Now we did have initial reaction to this, it wasn't too bad. And basically what Reserve Bank of Australia said was that they're going to keep the things the way they have been previously. So that's what we should be seeing here. And in that case, I wouldn't really expect much of a difference here. Now let's go on to our charts. We'll start off with euro dollar here. Euro dollar looks bearish. We were looking for a drop. We got that. And bias is still to the downside. In terms of the move here, I would look for a bit of a pullback into 1.0810, and then looking for a further move to the downside. So that's a pullback level there. First target here is 1.0750 and then 1.0725. So bearish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one's looking bearish as well. We had a nice drop, which we were looking for yesterday, and bias is still to the downside here. Now, we could get a pullback into 1.2365, so watch out for that. And looking for a drop here, target is 1.2250. So pound dollar is bearish as well. Aussie dollar here, we got a drop like we were expecting yesterday. So still the bias is to the downside. Next target here is 0.6360. And then below that, we have 0.6300. So bearish bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar, we were looking for a drop here as well. Nice, we got that drop. So bias is bearish. In terms of a pullback, we could get a pullback potentially into 0.6020. So I would watch out for that. But bias is bearish. Next target here is 0.5950. And below that 0.5920. So bearish bias here for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, nice bullish engulfing candle here. We see that price held above our support level and it has turned around. So bullish bias here. Next target is 1.4200. And then above that, we have 1.4265. So bullish bias here for dollar CAD. Silver here, silver is looking bearish. We have a nice bearish pin bar. And in terms of a pullback, 14.80 or even 15.00. And then I will look for a further drop. It is into support, so do be mindful of that. If it doesn't go through the support, then it can turn as it has done so previously. So watch out for the support level here. But in terms of the targets, the first target here is 14.50 and then 14.20 for silver. So bearish bias here for silver. Gold here, gold is also looking bearish. We had a nice drop today. At this point, bias is bearish. Now watch out for a pullback either into 1690 or 1690. And if it holds below 1690, I would look for a drop back down towards 1670. So 1670 is the first target. And then second target here is 1660. So bearish bias for gold. Oil here, oil went into resistance that we had talked about yesterday, and we have seen a drop now. So bias is bearish. I am looking for a further drop here. First target here is 23.50 and then 22.65. So bearish bias for oil. Copper here, this one is neutral. We have seen that price wasn't able to hold above the resistance level, and now we have a neutral candle close. At this point, I would look for a retest of 2.31, and if it holds below, I'm looking for a drop back towards 2.25. So neutral bias for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin went up as we had talked about yesterday, still looking bullish. It's getting close to the resistance, so do watch out for that. If it doesn't go through the resistance, either today's high of 93.80 or 94.50, then we could see price turnaround. But for now, looking bullish. Target is 94.50, and only if it goes through that would I look for the next target at 96.50. But for now, we do need to see if price will make it to the high because it could turn around right now. It is into resistance, so we have to be careful with this one. So bullish to neutral for Bitcoin. S&P 500 here, this one's looking bearish. We had a nice bearish candle close for the day here. I would look for a further drop. First target is 28.20 and then 27.80. Bearish bias for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, this one as well, closed in bearish for the day here. We did see price go into the resistance, but then it bounced off of that. So we have a pin bar. In this case, I would look for a pullback and then a drop. First target here is 88.30 and then 87.35. So bearish bias here for Nasdaq. And Dow Jones here, this one's looking bearish as well. We have a similar setup to S&P 500, tweezer top, looking for a drop. First target is 23,300 and then 23,000. So bearish bias for Dow Jones. DAX here, this one's looking bearish as well. Price went into the resistance and then moved lower from there. This next target here, so this is bearish, next target is 10,400 and then 10,280, so bearish bias for DAX. FTSE here, we have a nice bearish pin bar here. I would look for a drop and a potential pullback into 58.70 and then looking for a drop. First target is 57.20 and then 56.20, so bearish bias here. Nikkei here, Nikkei also is bearish. Now, strong bearish candle close here. Next target is 19,000. And then below that, it's 18,800. So Nikkei is looking bearish as well. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.